Spurs against Palace on Boxing Day. Don and Shaq are going for a Spurs win. Meanwhile, Stevie and Jules think it's just going to be a draw. Let me show you some Antonio Conte stats to peruse as I asked Don whether or not Spurs fans should be optimistic looking ahead to the future.
Well, I think they should be, Dan. I think they certainly should be. I think he's working them a lot harder. They're a better team to watch. He's improving players. Dele Alli was sensational for his standards against Liverpool. Harry Winks has been in good form. He looks as though he's improving and working on the back line as well. All the numbers seem to be pointing in the right direction. It just needs now to start getting Harry Kane firing.
Why have you gone for a draw?
Well, because I still think Tottenham are a better side when they're able to break on teams. And I don't think that's going to happen with Palace. Palace are in every game. Palace don't get battered.
Right.
And so this is going to be tight. And Palace, in my opinion, can create and score goals as well. Particularly Don's pal, Conor Gallagher.
Oh.
So the way the game will be played, I don't think suits Tottenham. So Tottenham, in my opinion, are not at their best when they have to take the game to the opposition. And that's what they'll have to do. Primarily because they're at home. So that's why I think this will be a draw.
Shaq, is Stevie calling you a fool for backing Spurs?
Well, he did say that Palace won't get battered, and I agree. I just feel that Antonio Conte has this side playing as well now, and with confidence. And you're seeing, and Don mentioned, you're seeing an identity under Antonio Conte built around just covering more ground, being more hardworking from back to front. I think that Spurs are yet to hit their best form, but at home and with Antonio Conte having that direction, having that plan, I think they'll prove to be too much for Crystal Palace. As Steve says, it won't be a blowout, but I just feel that Spurs, with their quality and the home advantage, get the job done.
Meanwhile, it's Norwich taking on Arsenal. Arsenal, of course, coming to the game with a good run of form. Take a look at the predictions. Everybody is going for an Arsenal victory. How things have changed from their poor start to the season. But of course, still very much questions about the future of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Jules, looking ahead of it, how on earth are Arsenal going to get him off their books?
It's a good question, and that might prove very difficult. One, because he's on huge wages, of course, that not many clubs can afford. I mean, he can still decide to leave and be ready to reduce his wages, of course, to go and play somewhere instead of just sitting, I was going to say sitting on the bench. Maybe even not sitting on the bench at Arsenal, but sitting in the stands or at home, because I'm not sure if he stays after January transfer window that Arteta will bring him back into the squads. He might well do, he might not. It's quite unclear right now. Even Arteta himself is not very clear on the whole thing. He's going to go to the African Cup of Nations with Gabon, which I think suits everyone, him and Arteta and the club, and then potentially see when he comes back or what happens during January. But certainly, unless it's a club like Newcastle who really has that kind of money, it'd be very difficult, I think, to offload him.
Who's finishing higher, Arsenal or Spurs, Don?
Oh, wow, that's a tough question. I would lean towards Arsenal. I think they've got a little bit more than Spurs at the moment, even though they've got a better manager in Conte. I think the young kids have been carrying Arsenal for a long time. They're in great form. He signed some really good players. I think Tomiyasu at right back. I mean, he's a massive upgrade on Hector Bellerin. I know Bellerin done his ACL and then moved on, but I look at Tomiyasu, I think he's aggressive. I see Kieran Tierney at left full back, aggressive. He's got players in the middle of the park that can put a foot in, which is not really the Arsenal way. Then all those young attackers who are just absolutely flying and they're in good momentum. I think they'll just sneak it, but I'm not certain. I think Tottenham might come with a good run, but I'd fancy Arsenal just.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.